Prabhupada Gunaman Supariprajapacharya Stotra Shri Śrīmad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Sridhar Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyam Kun Radha Kun Nikiri Govardhan Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Navadvip Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Jamana Mai Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Men can move forward. Or आगे हो. Okay. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 10.89, 48 and 49. Tatrāśvāḥ śaibya-sugrīva Meghapuṣpa-balāhakāḥ tamasi bhraṣṭa-gatayo babhūvur bharatarṣabha dṛṣṭvā bhagavān kṛṣṇo mahā-yogeśvareśvaraḥ sahasrāditya-saṅkāśaṁ sva-cakraṁ prāhiṇot puraḥ tatrāśvāḥ śaibya-sugrīva meghapuṣpa-balāhaka tamasi bhraṣṭa-gatayo babhūvur bharatarṣabha dṛṣṭvā bhagavān kṛṣṇo mahā-yogeśvareśvaraḥ sahasrāditya-saṅkāśaṁ sva-cakraṁ prāhiṇot puraḥ. Someone else?
Tatrāśvāḥ śaibya-sugrīva Meghapuṣpa tatrāśvāḥ śaibya-sugrīva
meghapuṣpa-balāhaka tamasi bhraṣṭa-gatayo babhūvur bharatarṣabha dṛṣṭvā bhagavān Kṛṣṇo mahā-yogeśvareśvaraḥ
sahasrāditya-saṅkāśaṁ
sva-cakraṁ
sva-cakraṁ
Ladies,
tatrāśvāḥ śaibya-sugrīva meghapuṣpa-balāhaka tamasi bhraṣṭa-gatayo babhūvur bharatarṣabha dṛṣṭvā bhagavān Kṛṣṇo mahā-yogeśvareśvaraḥ sahasrāditya-saṅkāśaṁ sva-cakraṁ prāhiṇot tatrāśvāḥ meghapuṣpa-balāhaka tamasi bhraṣṭa-gatayo babhūvur bharatarṣabha dṛṣṭvā bhagavān Kṛṣṇo mahā-yogeśvareśvaraḥ sahasrāditya-saṅkāśaṁ sva-cakraṁ prāhiṇot tatrāśvāḥ śaibya-sugrīva meghapuṣpa-balāhaka tamasi bhraṣṭa-gatayo babhūvur bharatarṣabha dṛṣṭvā bhagavān Kṛṣṇo mahā-yogeśvareśvaraḥ sahasrāditya-saṅkāśaṁ sva-cakraṁ prāhiṇot
Tatra, at that place, Ashvaha, the horses, śaibya-sugrīva Meghapuṣpa, Balāhakāḥ, named śaibya-sugrīva, Meghapuṣpa and Balāhaka.
named śaibya-sugrīva meghapuṣpa and Balāhaka
Tamasi,
tamasi
in the darkness,
in the darkness
prashta,
prashta
having lost,
gatayaha
their way, babhūvur,
babhūvur
became
became
bharatarṣabha,
bharatarṣabha,
O best of the Bharatas,
O best of the Bharatas,
tan, them,
them,
dṛṣṭvā,
dṛṣṭvā,
seen,
seen,
bhagavān,
Bhagavān,
the personality of Godhead,
the personality of Godhead,
Kṛṣṇa,
Krishna,
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 mahā,
Maha,
supreme,
Supreme,
yoga Ishvara,
Yoga-Ishvara,
of masters of yoga,
of masters of yoga,
Ishvara,
Ishvara,
the master,
the master,
sahasra,
Sahasra,
1,000,
1,000,
aditya,
Aditya,
sons,
sons,
saṅkāśaṁ,
Saṅkāśaṁ,
comparable to,
comparable to,
sva,
Sva,
his personal,
his personal,
chakram,
Chakram,
disc weapon,
this weapon,
prāhiṇot,
prāhiṇot,
sent,
sent,
puraḥ,
puraḥ,
in front.
in front.
In that darkness, the chariot's horses, śaibya-sugrīva, Meghapuṣpa and Balāhaka, lost their way. Seeing them in this condition, O best of the Bharatas, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Master of all masters of yoga, sent his Sudarshan disc before the chariot. That disc shone like thousands of suns. Purport: Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti gives the following insight into this verse. Lord Krishna's horses had descended from Vaikuntha to participate in his earthly pastimes. Since the Lord himself was pretending to be a finite human being, his steeds now acted confused to enhance the drama of the situation for all who would one day hear this pastime. Maybe you can check your cell phone and see that it's in silent mode. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manopistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Tadhati Shapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jatapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Shahagana Raganatan Vitam Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Pradeshana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dīnabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanshakol Patarubhyascha Kripa Sindho Pyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare tatrāśvāḥ śaibya-sugrīva meghapuṣpa-balāhakāḥ tamasi bhraṣṭa-gatayo babhūvur bharatarṣabha tan dṛṣṭvā bhagavān kṛṣṇo mahā-yogeśvareśvaraḥ sahasrāditya-saṅkāśaṁ sva-cakraṁ prāhiṇot puraḥ. Krishna and Arjuna have been traveling, and they've come now to the dark portion of the universe. There's a mountain which runs in a circular fashion around or halfway between the shell of the universe and the center, Loka mountain. Within that area, the sun's rays are visible. Beyond that mountain, everything is pitch black. So they've now come to that black portion, and the horses are confused what to do. These are transcendental horses, but as part of Krishna's pastime, they're becoming confused. The devotees are not particularly interested in horses. but because these are Krishna's horses, we have an interest. They're described also in the chapter where Krishna kidnaps Rukmini. Krishna was in Dwarka, Rukmini was in Vidarbha. And the marriage ceremony was going to take place between Rukmini and that rascal. So Krishna had to get there quick. And so overnight he reached, taking advantage of these horses and the chariot driven by Daruka. There it's described, Prabhupada references the Padma Purana, that the Śaibya was a greenish horse, Sugriva was grayish, Meghapuṣpa was of course cloud-colored, and Balāhaka was ash-colored. So these, Hare Krishna. One time Srila Prabhupada was visiting Los Angeles. This is recounted in Satsvarupa Maharaj's book, Prabhupada Leela. That Prabhupada went to Los Angeles. There was a diorama team working there, creating a diorama of various aspects of Krishna consciousness. And one of the dioramas showed Krishna and Arjuna on the chariot. So Prabhupada observed the diorama and said that the horses were more beautiful than Krishna. The diorama creators were a little... Then Prabhupada said, because they're servants of Krishna. Srila Prabhupada used to quote, Mad Bhakta Puja Vyadika. The devotee is more to be worshipped than Krishna. The devotee is to be worshipped more than Krishna. Krishna considers the devotee more important than himself. And Krishna's pastimes mean Krishna's pastimes with his devotees. Srila Prabhupada said Krishna is never alone. Alone is impersonalism. When you see the picture of Krishna in the sky with the Omkar, that's Mayavad, impersonalism. Krishna's never just up in the sky there alone. There's always devotees. And the Yashoda, cowherd boys, Dwarka queens. At least some cows or peacocks have to be there. Because Krishna is always associated with his devotees. So here the horses of Krishna, the chariot of Krishna, Arjuna, Krishna's associate, they all take part in the transcendental activities of Krishna. Otherwise there'd be nothing happening. So Krishna is glorious with his energies, internal energy, even his external energy is part of his glories. Yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam śrīmad virjitameva mama tejvam sasambhav. Even the material energy is glorious from Krishna's point of view. Although she has an unwanted task from our perspective, from Krishna's point of view, she also performs a necessary service. So Krishna is glorified with his energies, internal energy, external energy, marginal energy. They're all manifestations of Krishna. Krishna means with his energies. Prāṣṭa shaktir vividhaya vishriyate. Svabhavaki jnana palakriyācha. And Krishna is the controller of all energies and the controller of the controllers of the energies. Mahā-yogeśvareśvaraḥ. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is called Yogeshwara, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna. He's the master of all mystic powers. But here he's said to be Yogeshwareshwara, the master of the masters of mystic power. There are yogis who are also masters of mystic power. Lord Shiva particularly is a great master of all mystic powers. Lord Brahma has great mystic powers. He can create the whole structure of the universe. There are many. But Krishna is the master of all the masters. Mahā-yogeśvareśvaraḥ. Bhagavān Krishna. Sometimes Lord Shiva is also called Bhagavān, sometimes others. But Krishna, Bhagavān Krishna, is the master of all masters of mystic powers. Govindamadi Purusham. He's the original personality of Godhead himself. Here the Sudarshan disc is Krishna's solution to the problem of darkness. Sudarshan means seeing very nicely. The chakra is described as being brilliant, like how many suns? 1,000? Thousands, no limit to the thousands. Brilliant like thousands of suns. So the darkness was dispelled by Krishna's chakra. Chakra is also part of Krishna's paraphernalia, as the horses and the chariot are part of Krishna's paraphernalia. So the chakra also, eternally. Although it appears that these things are given to Krishna, someone gives the chariot, someone gives the chakra, fire god I think gives the chakra. But they're actually eternal parts of Krishna's stuff, his paraphernalia. So, and hearing about these is as good as hearing about Krishna. It's not that Krishna is not alone. Therefore, when we hear about Krishna with his devotees, with his Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, with his energies, with his philosophy, with his everything. This is Krishna, not impersonal. And by hearing about Krishna and his qualities, his forms, his pastimes, his paraphernalia, his abode, the devotees become joyful. Sthane rishikesha tava prakirtya jagat parishyat janaranshitecha. Devotees become joyful by hearing about Krishna and hearing about everything related to Krishna. These items are elsewhere described by Srila Rupa Goswami as uddipan, stimuli for love for Krishna. Our Indraduna Maharaj is doing a long series of podcasts on various stimuli, and you can go on and on. There's no end to the glorious podcasts one could do about items that stimulate love for Krishna. And this Vrindavan as a whole, it's Krishna's abode, so it also naturally stimulates love for Krishna. Srila Prabhupada said that Vrindavan is the one place in the universe where Krishna consciousness automatically reveals, which means, I think, reveals itself automatically. In Mayapur also, Prabhupada was walking and he saw devotees were growing grains. Prabhupada approved. He said, you grow your own grains and grind and cook. Prabhupada said, even the dust will help us. Even the dust will help us. So maybe I'll stop here, see if there's some questions about something. Yes?
Hare Krishna, thank you Maharaj. The material world is a dark place. Here, Lord Krishna and Arjuna went to the, like you said, pitch black place. I wonder if there is any devotees there in that such a dark place. Is there anything?
Devotees?
Can there be?
Can there be? There can be, but then it wouldn't be dark anymore. Someone. What would someone think about, this puja and this and that? Well, of course, I said that Srila Prabhupada would approve, and that in fact this is what Srila Prabhupada taught. It's not that, they said, but Prabhupada is the Acharya of ISKCON. I said, no, he's not. He's the founder Acharya of ISKCON, which, as we have mahā-yogeśvareśvaraḥ, he's the controller of all the controllers, Krishna. So Prabhupada's the Acharya of all the Acharyas, which means that he's not the only Acharya. Otherwise, what does it mean, founder Acharya? Why have that, founder Acharya? If he's going to be the only Acharya, you can do that, only Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Founder Acharya, he's that unique, special position. He's the Acharya who founded the whole thing, the whole institution, the whole society. Founder Acharya. But not only Acharya, not last Acharya, not exclusive Acharya. Why invent something? Prabhupada's actual position is glorious as it is. We don't have to invent something, only Acharya, exclusive Acharya. So there should be thousands and thousands of acharyas to spread the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. And then when they should be respected as acharyas. Not that Prabhupada is the guru of everyone, and that's where it stops. So we worship Prabhupada, we don't worship anyone else because that would be terrible. No, this is all mental concoction. The spiritual master should be worshipped as God. Sakshat-huritena samasta shastre. Not my opinion. Uktastata bhavyate vishadpi. That's what all the sadhus and the shastras say. So, yes. So I wanted to add that. The tendency to trivialize the spiritual master is contrary to the conclusions of the sadhus and the shastras. The spiritual master should never be considered an ordinary human being. Navamanyeta karyachet, namarchabhuti suyeta. All these things apply. Yes, Janardan Maharaj. Mike Dedo.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you. My question is that you just mentioned the spiritual master is not an ordinary person. Is it only for the disciples or is it also for others?
Is it only for the disciple or is it only for others? First, it's for the disciple. Just like your wife. She's not everybody's wife, she's your wife. One should worship the acharya, one should, all of those things. You're acharya. Not that you have to, because I've accepted, someone's accepted me as acharya, now everybody has to worship me. No. But in the relationship, the spiritual master has to take charge of the disciple. He doesn't have to take charge of everyone. He has to take charge of his disciples. And the disciples have to worship him on the level of bhagavān, personality of Godhead. And for others, he should be seen as Vaishnavas. If they have that vision. For those who are in darkness, they won't see anything. But if he's Vaishnava, then Vaishnava is not a small thing. The Vaishnavas are the most important human beings. So the Vaishnava, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. No, if he's not an acharya, he's not important. No, the Vaishnava, anyone who's a Vaishnava. And then we may see some Vaishnavas are very advanced. Srila Rupa Goswami doesn't say everyone is Vaishnava, everyone is the same. He makes distinctions. There are beginning Vaishnavas, there are intermediate Vaishnavas, there are advanced Vaishnavas. And Srila Rupa Goswami instructs us how to deal accordingly. But that's up to us. Not that we'll certify. Here's Praveen, advanced Vaishnava. Here's Harinam, he's okay, everybody's in a category. We have a meeting and we decide and we certify advanced Vaishnava. And now you have to accept it. No, that's up to you, it's your business. Otherwise, why has Srila Rupa Goswami written this book for everyone? Why is the BBT printing it? We could have printed, 100 copies and given them to various committees. But it's for everyone to know. These are the qualifications, different kinds of Vaishnavas here, how we have to deal. Is that okay?
One more question. The soul, it says, is like the brilliance, the effulgence, like 1,000 suns, but we don't see it.
No, we don't see it. The soul is brilliant like 1,000 suns, but the covering of the soul is pretty thick.
Because of the modes of material nature. That's why we cannot see.
Yeah, it's covered. Covered. And the sun is brilliant like one sun, and you just pull down your shades, and that's it. No sun. Simple as that. It could be 10 times as bright still as soon as you close your shutters. End of sun. So the soul is brilliant but covered.
Last question, Maharaj. What does it mean by self-effulgent acharya?
What does it mean, self-effulgent acharya? Good question. It means that his accomplishments and the depth of his Krishna consciousness are so evident that only an ignorant person would fail to see it. It means that we don't have to have a committee meeting, we don't have to have a vote, we don't have to have a panel, a certification process to say that yes, now he's an acharya, we've recognized him. Self-effulgent, he'll emerge to the eyes of those who have eyes. And those who don't won't see no matter what. Srila Prabhupada was fairly pointed about this in his commentary on Chaitanya Charitamrita. How self-effulgent do you have to be? You spread Krishna consciousness all over the world, you make lechas into Vaishnavas, you make Hare Krishna household word, and still they won't give credit. So for those who take that, those who are envious or those who are just dull, there's no such thing as self-effulgent. They can't, a blind man, you can be as effulgent as you want, he won't see you. But for those who have eyes and those who have a little bit of knowledge, self-effulgent, obviously. Just look at what he's done, look at his influence, look how he makes fools into Vaishnavas, patitanam pavanebhyo. That's self-effulgent. Is that okay?
Hare Krishna.
Hey. Hare Krishna.
Going back to your comment about the devotee that asked you what would Prabhupada think about all this worship going on. I thought about around 1976 when Srila Prabhupada put the photograph of Jayananda on all the Rath Yatra carts. So I think that set a very nice example of how any devotee can become exalted and be worshipped in some way.
Yeah, Prabhupada ordered that his picture should be there on the card.
Yeah.
And picture doesn't mean for display. Picture means for worship. It's for offering respect, for glorifying. Prabhupada told us that if there was some picture of Kṛṣṇa or the acharyas that would just sort of neck up, Prabhupada would criticize the artists. What are these bust pictures? He said the full form should be there. He said the pictures are not for decoration, they're for worship. Yes, Bishop.
Thank you, Maharaj. You were speaking about different designations of, or the levels of Vaishnavas, and yeah, I'm just wondering if you could say something on, like, well, we have genders, that's a practical...
We have
genders
as
a distinction, right? That's a practical consideration, and I was wondering in the light of like the Varnas, for example, and having that designation on Vaishnavas, and how much do we consider that, or not?
How much do we consider genders and designations and all of that in Vaishnavas? We consider them when they're relevant. When they're relevant, then we consider them. If you're looking for a wife, we recommend the opposite gender. Otherwise, we see everyone is Vaishnav. There's no Shudra Vaishnav, Brahmin Vaishnav. That's for fools. Raghunath Das Goswami was a Kayasta. Some foolish people think like that. That means Narakisa, hellish point of view. One has to see with eyes of knowledge. Vaishnava is not just a member of this caste or that caste, transcendent. Is that okay?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. For all the devotees who are preaching, I experienced that when the Labh, Puja and Pratishtha can be real. Labh, Puja and Pratishtha.
Labh, Puja and Pratishtha
can be the really dangerous pathway where people start worshipping you as a preacher. And how can we make sure the founder Acharya, the Prabhupada, stays in the center of our preaching endeavor?
Labh, Puja and Pratishtha can be big problems. How do we see that Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya, stays in the center of things? Okay. First of all, the puja should be, we should understand it's not meant for me. Vyas Puja doesn't mean the day when everyone recognizes how glorious I am. The spiritual master is the representative of Vyasadeva through the parampara. So the credit goes to the spiritual master, not that it sticks to me. But my spiritual master, his spiritual master, his spiritual master. On in that way. And if we do that, if everyone does that, then Prabhupada's automatically in the center. It's not that we have to trivialize or cut down or minimize everyone else so that Prabhupada will be in the center. That's another concoction. That's another way to keep Prabhupada in the center. Don't mess with what he taught. Don't re-engineer it, don't rework it, don't modify it for some convenient purpose or for some managerial or other necessity. Keep it as it is, not Prabhupada in the center and the teachings off to the side. That will be a disaster. So that's one thing. And that we don't need to minimize. To keep Prabhupada in the center, we have to keep everybody else down. So Prabhupada will be up, we have to keep everybody else down. That's another nonsense. The more everybody else comes up, the more Prabhupada goes up. Prabhupada's on the top. So if everybody else goes up, then Prabhupada goes up higher. Not that we have a better idea, we keep everybody else down so that Prabhupada will be up, then we'll all be down. The more that the members of the Krishna consciousness movement become glorious by their service, the more credit to Prabhupada. Not that we have to somehow or other keep everyone else down so that Prabhupada will be up. That's nonsense. Is that okay? Yes, Aniruddha.
Hare Krishna. Yes, we're on. Thanks for the nice class, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. You mentioned that the spiritual master is Krishna's representative. And we know there's a spectrum of representation in the Siksha gurus. The Vatma Pradashika guru and others who help us come to Krishna consciousness. But later fall away. Right? So how do we perceive that manifestation of Krishna? Because in my experience, I met a devotee who was a disciple of Prabhupada, and he preached to me. Yet he was visiting the house that I was living in for questionable purposes, right? Yet he inspired me, and so and this is when I knew almost nothing about Krishna consciousness, but he increased my faith in the Hare Krishna movement and faith in Prabhupada, obviously. Yet if I looked closely at his behavior, it wasn't what Prabhupada expected of a disciple. Yet his preaching helped me on my way. So that's always been a bit of a conundrum for me. How do we, he's obviously Krishna's representative, but not the pure Raya Vishnu like, say, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur or other obviously powerful gurus, if you like.
So there's a spectrum of gurus, Vartma Pradarshaka Acharya, the Diksha Guru, the Shiksha Guru, and some of them may at some point fail or fall away or be less than what they're supposed to be. So how do we see that? One thing is that even, Prabhupada's so powerful that even a broken part can do something. If the electricity is powerful enough, even a broken connection will be enough to. So that's one thought. But another thought is that we have to see everything in context. That this person, maybe he was not so good, or maybe he was good and later fell to the side. But Krishna acted through that devotee at that time. Vande Krishna Jagat Guru. Finally, who's the Guru? Acharya Mam Vijaniyam. From another taking, usually it means one should see the Acharya as myself. But another take, or another nuance, is that one should see it's Krishna that's acting. It's Krishna who's the Acharya. It's Krishna who's the Acharya, and then everybody else is representing Krishna. Or Krishna's acting through all those living entities. That Brahman, he saw that Krishna's acting through these animals even to instruct them. So it's Krishna and Krishna never falls. He's achyuta. So he acts through different mediums, through different devotees, or even through non-devotees. Krishna can act. He can give you a message through some non-devotee. What was it? Satsuma Maharaj tells a story in one of his books about how he was on an airport queue, and somehow or other he was a little impatient and sort of pushed ahead of someone. And the person said, "Is that what your religion teaches you?" And he took it very seriously. And Krishna is giving an instruction even through the non-devotee. And what to speak of the devotee. Prabhupada appreciated that, what was his name? Malik? His friend? Narendranath Malik. He gets a mention in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Because he brought Srila Prabhupada, insisted that Prabhupada meet this sadhu, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So we don't hear that he went on and did anything important, but at that moment, at that time, he played that crucial role. We could say, if it weren't for Narendranath Malik, what would have happened? Where would we be? We could give him, his measure of credit. Of course, it would have happened in another, but that's how it happened. But he dragged Prabhupada, no, you have to come meet this saintly person. So others may also help us in different ways, sometimes giving instructions, sometimes giving initiation, sometimes giving direction, this is the way. And we can be grateful that Krishna is coming to us in this way or that way. Even, yes, is that okay?
Yeah. It reminds me of the doctor that treated Prabhupada in New York, who told the devotees that the old man needs to walk. And Prabhupada, says that he was a drunkard, but he took that as good advice.
There was some doctor in New York who said the old man needs to walk, and Prabhupada took it. Yes, I should walk. I didn't know this story. Yeah. But wherever we get good instruction, we take it as Krishna's mercy. And still, there's that sort of broad view of things, and then there's very particular, that the Diksha Guru has a very important role in the life of the disciple. Shiksha Guru. Shiksha Guru is seen not just as anyone who gives instruction, but someone with whom we have a very strong relationship. He's instructing us. So then he's seen as acting on the same level as the Diksha Guru. So we have these contextualized distinctions. At one point, everybody's my guru, whoever instructs me, but then particularly, not that therefore I do, Guru Puja to the loudspeaker, but there's oneness, and then there's also particularity.
What about the statement we often hear is, you have to hear from a pure devotee?
What about the statement that we have to hear from a pure devotee? That's a wonderful statement. And I think my favorite comment on that is Srila Prabhupada's letter to one godbrother, Kṛṣṇa Swami, who had been brought to Krishna consciousness by Siddha Goswami, another godbrother, and who was like his right-hand man, very devoted to him. And when Siddha Swarup joined Srila Prabhupada, and Tushta Krishna also joined. And he wrote some letter to Srila Prabhupada. We don't have the letter, but we can understand from the reply something about the letter. And Prabhupada said regarding Tushta, I'm paraphrasing, but this is pretty much, regarding Tushta Krishna, regarding Siddhaswarupananda being a pure devotee, he said, yes, but I think you have the wrong idea. He said, all my disciples are pure devotees, Siddhaswarupananda or non-Siddhaswarupananda. Don't make a faction that these are pure devotees. All my disciples are pure devotees. He said, they'll all go back to Godhead. Why only Siddhaswarupananda? He said, this one will go, that one will go, this one will go, the Shamsundar will go. He said, we'll have another ISKCON there. He said, only Mr. Nair can't go. If we, there may be more mature devotees, but one can become a pure devotee from the very beginning. Just follow, and you're pure. There's a letter to one young lady, Andrea Temple, her name was. This was like 1968-ish. She was living in the Bahamas, little islands to the south of the United States. And somehow she'd come in touch with devotees, and she was doing something there in the Bahamas, chanting Hare Krishna and teaching others to chant Hare Krishna. And she wrote to Srila Prabhupada about it. And again, we don't have the letter, but she must have asked, will it be effective? Will it have potency? Because one has to hear from a pure devotee. And Prabhupada said, you've heard it from my disciples have heard it from me, and therefore it has potency. And he encouraged her. And the bell has struck 9. So I think we should stop here. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada. Andrew's book, for those who have not yet. Another book, Vanity Karma. This is for the outsiders, especially Western outsiders.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.